Hey everyone, I wanted to take a moment to look at Shadow Tide and the passing of the seed phase in the middle with the statues. As we come into the room, please take a look at the markers. The DPS are going to stand kind of right in front of the boss, and the tank is going to go around the back side of the room to this number 1 marker, and they are going to tank at the number 1 marker. Now, the boss is actually going to be more in the center of the room when you're tanking, but this is where everyone stands, and you can see the DPS on the far side waiting to start. We are skipping most of the mechs in this section, which is part of the reason I just wanted to go over the statues here. So we're going to just go ahead and DPS the boss. Tanks, avoid this yellow section if you can, and continue to DPS the boss. He's going to go down pretty fast. I found it very helpful for tanks to taunt again right before 70% for the boss's health. That way you make sure you have aggro for this first phase. Whoever has aggro, which should be the tank, will get the first seed. Now you can see I'm moving backwards to this statue here, and there's a buff on my screen which tells me I have a timer until I pass this seed, which is this yellow circle around me. So first let's talk about this phase. The tank is going to move back to this number 1 marker, which is where I am, and there's a statue there that they're going to stand at. You're going to want someone else in this circle with you and the statue in the circle as well. This will pass the seed to the next person. Once the second person has the seed, they will move backwards to the number 2 marker, where there will be another statue that they have to stand at and share the seed with someone else. Once that statue is activated, they will take the seed to statue number 3, where they will share with someone and activate that statue. Number 3 will move backwards to number 4 to share the seed and activate the statue. Number 4 will go across the room to number 5. Number 5 will move backwards to the number 6 marker. Number 6 will move all the way across the room to the moon, and this will activate the final statue. If everyone does not pass the seed and make it to all the 7 statues, you will end up wiping the raid. So here I am at statue number 1 with my timer buff, which just went down to 0. I passed the seed to the next person. Now he is going to run to the next statue. He's going to make sure the other person, the one other person, is inside the circle with him, and the statue is inside the circle as well. When his buff gets to 0, the number 2 statue activated. Now they're going to pass the seed to number 3. So you can see the next person running across to that number 3 marker where they're going to attack that statue. Now if you're DPS, you can see these eyeballs in the background. You're going to want to DPS those eyes and kill them while this is going on. So he has the seed now, and he's going to the number 4 marker. You need to have the other person inside the circle with you, one other person, and the statue. This will activate that statue when the timer runs out, and he will move to number 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and kill this eyeball, or help kill this eyeball, and avoid these orb circles, these dark purple circles coming out from the center. There's a crystal that rotates around. If you see the circle kind of around the center of the room, I try to avoid standing in that because that's where the crystals spawn, and if one spawns on you, it will kill you. So try to stay a little further out. From number 5, it's at the number 6 statue right now, and then it's going to go all the way across the room to the moon, where he will meet one other person inside that circle with the statue and activate that last statue. So again, it's really important to make sure that there's one other person inside the circle along with the statue, and you wait until the marker passes. Now, if you end up with a yellow circle around you and red text over your head when you're waiting to get the golden circle passed to you, don't worry. If you need to shield, you can shield, but stay inside that circle. If you move out and you're not inside the circle, this circle you're supposed to be passing will disappear, and you'll end up wiping the raid because you won't be able to activate the statues. So again, at 35%, make sure you taunt beforehand, and actually when he goes to the center, you can still taunt for a second afterwards to make sure that you have that circle if you're the tank. Again, here I am on this. Now the second time we're passing this around, there's a little bit of a glitch sometimes where the tank will keep the circle. So here I'm waiting for the timer to go down. There's 1 second and 0. And I ended up keeping the circle around me instead of it passing. I've had this happen every single time, and it's not consistent as to which statue it'll actually pass at, but the tank will tend to have it for several of these statues. So at number 2, I still had the circle around me, so I'm going to statue number 3 now. Okay, so here I am at statue number 3. Again, I have one person in there with me, and I'm going to continue to keep that seed and pass it to number 4, which is behind me afterwards. Now, passing the seed from person to person can get a little confusing on the order. However, we use the top row of the RAID frame there, and that helps because we know that the order of the RAID frame at the top is the order of the statues. So you can know that you're going to the next statue and going to be waiting there by knowing that top row of the RAID frame. So here I am at statue number 5, and I'm going to be meeting the person there. Now, he's actually going to end up getting the seed. The seed at this point leaves me. I've had it leave me at statue number 3. I've had it leave me at other places. So he's going to go ahead and go backwards to statue number 6 and activate that. Afterwards, he's going to be going to the moon to activate the final statue. So again, you're avoiding, if you're a DPS and you're not helping with the statues, you're avoiding these circles, these orbs that are going around, the crystals that are going around the room, and you're DPSing down the eyeballs. Healers, we position around the room to make sure we have enough heals to cover everyone. We found that 3 heals is a little tough, but we can do it. 4 heals is better. It's really nice to have multiple heals as you're doing this. So that's very helpful. There is also a tank buff on here, which we skipped and didn't need to worry about. But if you are slower DPS, you're probably going to need 2 tanks for this and switch at 8 stacks. So hopefully you found this helpful. I'm going to do another video on adventure mode because our DPS is just too high for seeing all the mechs in normal. So please take a look and watch out for the adventure video for this, and I will be going over all the mechanics in that you will most likely see in this raid if you are a little bit lower DPS. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.